Hello everyone, welcome to Laexcellence IAS Academy. I am Praveen, Faculty of Geography at Laexcellence IAS Academy. I think today you fared relatively well in UPSC CSE Prelims 2025 GS paper, and today I will be taking up the discussion about geography and environment related questions. Around 25 to 27 questions overall came up this year from geography as well as environment. I would rate the paper as easy to moderate as far as geography and environment is concerned. So going forward, we'll look at the explanation about each question. So this is set B. In set B, we are discussing questions starting from 42 which are part of geography. So first question, following statements. Andes Mountains pass through how many of the above countries? So we know Andes Mountains are part of South America. East coast of South America related countries should be part of Andes Mountains. Amongst these countries, we have two countries, Brazil and Paraguay. So Brazil and Paraguay are located relatively interior of the continent of South America. So these will not be part of Andes Mountains. Remaining four, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador and Venezuela are part of Andes Mountains. So answer will be only 4. Then we have question 43, set B. Through how many of them does the equator pass? So this question is relatively factual data. We should know each of the lake or water body located in which part of the world. So we have this lake Tanganyika. This lake Tanganyika is in Eastern African Rift Valley region. So, around Africa, equator passes through Africa, but this lake Tanganyika is relatively south of equator, around 3 degrees south of equator. So I would personally feel this will not be part of the water body cutting through equator. Then we have second water body, Lake Tonle Sap. So this is in Southeast Asia, part of Cambodia. Southeast Asia is relatively in northern hemisphere above equator, so this lake also doesn't pass through equator. Then we have Patos Lagoon. This is in South America, Brazil region. So South America is far way down, Tropic of Capricorn passes through it. It is way down in southern hemisphere, so equator also doesn't pass through this water body. So answer would be none. So none of the water body passes through equator, D. Then next question, 44, set B. Consider the following statements about turmeric during the year 2022 and 23. So first statement, India is the largest producer and exporter of turmeric in the world. So this question is relatively factual question. This fact we should know. India is the largest producer of turmeric in the world. Around 75% of the global production of turmeric happens in India. India is also the largest exporter. Around 60 to 65% of the total global exports of turmeric go from India. So first statement is true. Second two are also facts. More than 30 varieties of turmeric are grown in India is true. Major states, Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, mostly in southern India, E region we grow turmeric. So as far as this question is concerned, mostly this is a factual question and all statements are true. So answer would be D. Then we have question 45. Which of the following are the evidences of phenomena of continental drift theory? Mostly conceptual question. We know continental drift theory proposed by Wessner. All evidences Wessner has given with respect to this theory. So first statement says the belt of ancient rocks formed from Brazil coast matches with those from Western Africa. So this is called zigzophyte as explained by Wessner as part of his continental drift theory. South American coast, eastern part exactly fits into western coast of Africa. If coast is fitting exactly same, rocks on either side should also be exactly same. So ancient rocks, Brazil are matching with Western Africa, that is true. Eastern part of South America, we find Brazil. Second, gold deposits of Ghana are derived from the Brazil plateau when the two continents lay side by side. This fact is also true. So we have Ghana here in this part of Africa, one of the world's largest exporter of gold. This part of South America, apart from Brazilian plateau, we have countries like Guyana, French Guyana, Suriname. These are also one of the largest exporters of gold. So common gold reserves found along both coasts. Brazilian plateau is one of the reasons why we are finding gold here. Part of continental drift theory. True. Third, the Gondwana system of sediments from India is known to have its counterparts in 6 different land masses of the hemisphere. This southern hemisphere. So this is also true. So when we study evidences related to continental drift theory, we study paleoglacial evidences. So tillite deposits, glacial evidences are found in South America, are found in Africa, southern part of India, Australia, Antarctica, as well as some other islands which are dispersed across the globe. Overall 6 different land masses were there initially together, part of Gondwana land. So all those deposits are commonly found. So that statement also holds true. So as far as evidences are concerned, answer should be all of the above. So 1, 2 and 3. The next question 46, set B. Consider the following statements. Statement 1, the amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more in subtropical and temperate regions than equatorial and polar region. So dust particles are called aerosols. These are solids suspended in atmosphere. For solids to get suspended in atmosphere, air should relatively rise up, sunlight should be relatively good amount. We have equatorial region. Despite intense sunlight, we don't find much of the dust particles in equatorial region. Reason is rainfall. So we know convective rainfall occurs every day along equatorial region. Whenever dust is trying to ascend vertically up, this liquid water droplets again brings back the dust to surface of earth. So equatorial region will not be the region. Polar region anyways no, this is a high pressure belt region. Air is descending vertically down here, it will not allow dust particles to rise vertically up. So relatively compared to equatorial and polar region, we find more dust particles in subtropical and temperate region. First statement is true. Second, subtropical and temperate areas have less dry winds. So this is not correct. So in a subtropical and temperate region, we find high amount of dry winds. We know most of the deserts across the world, hot deserts are found in subtropical regions. Sahara Desert, Thar Desert, Rubal Khali Desert, all different deserts across the globe. If desert is there, dust will be there, air will be very dry. So high percentage of dry winds will be there. This dust goes into upper layers of atmosphere, and that is how we are finding more dust in subtropics and temperate region. So first statement is true, second statement less dry winds, this is not true. So answer would be 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. C. Question 47, statements. This is about isotherms. This is frequently asked. Conceptual question, last 3-4 years it has asked couple of times. So we know the concept differential heating of land and water. He is asking us to draw isothermal maps in January. So January is winter season in northern hemisphere. So when we are finding season is winter in northern hemisphere, so we have North America, we have Europe. So this is our Atlantic Ocean. In January, differential heating of land and water winter season, land will be relatively cool. If average temperature is around 25 degrees along this latitude, it will be less than that average temperature, it will be around 23. On water bodies, relatively they will be warm, temperature will be 27. So to draw this 25 degree centigrade isotherm, on land we should go south, on water bodies we should go north. So this is how isotherm maps will look. So in January, in a northern hemisphere, isotherms bend equatorward, crossing the land masses, and poleward while crossing the oceans. While crossing land, they turn equatorward, while crossing oceans, they turn poleward. True. Statement true. In January, the air over the ocean is warmer than over the landmass in the northern hemisphere. This is the actual reason. So oceans are warmer, temperature is high, land is cool, temperature is less. This is the reason. So both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and 2 correctly explains 1. So 47, answer will be A. So next, question 48. Consider the following statements. 3 statements he has given. He is asking us to write, understand the characteristics of porosity and permeability. So the term porosity means openings or void spaces whichever are there in different minerals of the earth. Permeability is the ability of that mineral to allow water to percolate through it. So first statement is giving in the context of effect of water on rocks, chalk is considered very permeable rock, whereas clay is known as least permeable rock. We know whenever water is entering clay, clay traps water. So that is what is called impermeability. Sand, chalk, all these materials are highly permeable. They allow water to pass through them. So chalk is very permeable, true. Clay is impermeable, also true. Statement 1 is true. Statement 2, chalk is porous and hence can absorb water. Statement 3, clay is not at all porous. So statement true, chalk is porous is true. Clay is not at all porous is not correct. Clay is porous. Porosity is different, permeability is different. Clay is highly porous, it will allow water to pass through them. It is least permeable, it will not allow that water to go out of this clay. It will absorb water. So with respect to this question, so amongst 2 and 3, statement 3 is not correct. So only one of the statement 2 and 3 is correct, and that explains statement 1. So answer will be C. 48. Then 49, consider the following statements. So this is about atmosphere and reason why atmosphere is getting heated up. We know. So the main reason why atmosphere is able to maintain 15-16 degrees centigrade ambient temperature is presence of gases called greenhouse gases. So these greenhouse gases which are present in atmosphere over Earth's surface will allow sunlight to pass through them. They will absorb outgoing long wave terrestrial radiation, thus trapping heat, ensuring 15-16 degrees centigrade. So statement 1 tells, without the atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point everywhere on Earth's surface. True. If atmosphere is not there, these gases are not there in atmosphere, whatever radiation Earth is emitting back, entire radiation will go into outer space, Earth will become extremely cold. Temperature drops below 0 degrees centigrade. True. Statement 2, heat absorbed and trapped by atmosphere maintains our planet's average temperature. This is true. Outgoing long wave terrestrial radiation is trapped by greenhouse gases. Greenhouse effect this temperature. True. Statement 3, atmosphere's gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good absorbers and trap heat. This is also true. These gases are called greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, sulfur oxides, few such gases. And these are greenhouse gases which are trapping heat. So when it comes to this question, all three statements are true. Then question 73. So we are moving to question 73 in part B. So consider the following statements. Statement 1. Of the two major ethanol producers in the world, Brazil and US, the former produces more ethanol than later. So these two countries are world's largest exporters of ethanol. But between Brazil and USA, USA is world's largest exporter of ethanol, second comes Brazil. But in statement he is telling former produces more ethanol than later. So Brazil is not producing more ethanol than US. So this statement is not correct. So we need not check statement 2, but still statement 2 is factual statement. This is also correct. So unlike in the US where corn is principal feedstock for ethanol, sugarcane is principal feedstock for ethanol in Brazil. Brazil, world's largest exporter of sugarcane. Based on sugarcane, we are producing ethanol. USA belt is called corn belt of USA. Using corn, it is generating ethanol. So statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct. Answer should be D. So 73 D. Then question 96 in part B. So consider the following countries. He is asking how many of the following countries have more than 4 time zones. So time zone concept, multiple time zone countries we should know. Generally country which is having large geographical area or earlier countries which were colonies. So they have generally more time zones. So this is more or less factual. We know United Kingdom should definitely have more than 4 time zones because there are a lot of dependency countries of UK to date. So UK is having more than 4 time zones. Denmark. So when we see at world map, we find a place called Greenland, northern part of northern hemisphere. This Greenland is also considered autonomous region of Denmark. So Denmark, which is part of northwestern Europe is following 1 time zone. This Greenland is very large island. This Greenland is following 3 time zones, and Faroe Islands of Denmark is there, other part of the globe that also follows a time zone. So Denmark also has more than 5 time zones. We have New Zealand. New Zealand is relatively small island country off the coast of Australia. It doesn't have many time zones. 1, 2, hardly that. No 5. So New Zealand is not the option. Australia. The Australia also have some dependency countries and islands surrounding its mainland. So apart from the main time zone followed in mainland Australia, other islands of Australia in this part of ocean also follow different time zones. Australia has more than 4 time zones. Brazil should also have many time zones because in South America, Brazil is the largest country, one of the largest countries of the world. So it also follows multiple time zones, more than 4. So how many of the above countries except New Zealand? All other 4 countries follow more than 4 time zones. So 96B. Then 97. So this is about international date line. So he is asking us these places we can ignore. We should know Siberia, we should know Alaska. So Siberia, part of Russia, is on one side of international date line. Alaska, part of northern North America, is on other side of international date line. So this is our entire western part of the hemisphere. This is eastern part of hemisphere. So this is will be our 180 degree east, this will be our 180 degree west. We are going crossing international date line from west to east. We know we will gain 1 day. So these places will be 12 hours ahead of time. These places will be 12 hours behind the time. Person crossing from west to east will gain 1 day. Adyar in Siberia and Nome in Alaska are few kilometers from each other, but when people are waking up and getting set for their breakfast in these cities, it will be different days. So when they are waking up, days will be different in Siberia as well as Alaska. Statement is true. 2. When it is Monday in Adyar, it is Tuesday in Nome. So if it is Monday in Adyar, it should be a day behind. It is a Sunday in Nome. Crossing date line, again he will relive his day. He will gain 1 day. So when it is Monday in Adyar, it should be Sunday in Nome, not Tuesday. So which of the following are correct? Only 1. Then 99. So countries, resource-rich regions, we know. Botswana, southern part of Africa. South Africa, we know. One of the world's largest exporter of diamond, Kimberley Plateau blood diamonds. Botswana, Namibia, surrounding region. Entire region is rich in diamonds. Botswana diamond, true. Chile, lithium. We know lithium triangle countries, world's largest exporters of lithium, South America. Chile, Argentina, Bolivia. So Chile, the world's largest exporter of lithium, true. Indonesia, this fact is also true. Indonesia is having world's largest reserves of nickel, and Indonesia is the country which is exporting maximum nickel across the globe. So factual data, all 3 statements are true. So 99C. We have last question from Geography 100 is asking us region as well as country. Simple match the following type of questions. All these regions are in news facing some issues in these respective countries. None of the option is correctly matched. Answer is none. So Malacca we find in Spain. Normandy we find in France. Sardinia we find in Italy. So none of the options are correctly matched. Answer will be D, none. So this is about geography. So more or less conceptual questions, repeated questions of previous years came up. Where very few factual questions came, but these also are covered in current affairs map reading part of geography. So I would rate geography subject relatively conceptual and decent, moderate to easy question. And we'll see few questions which came from environment. So paper part B, we are seeing question 11. First question in environment. So he is giving us 3 statements. Statement 1, studies indicate that carbon dioxide emissions from cement industry account for more than 5% of global carbon emissions. So this is a factual statement. This statement is true. So amongst all carbon emissions, cement industry is contributing to 5% of emissions. Statement 2, silica bearing clay is mixed with limestone while manufacturing cement. Clay is mixed with limestone while manufacturing cement, true. To manufacture cement we use this, but this is not contributing to carbon emissions. Simple mix of clay and limestone is happening. Statement 3, limestone is converted into lime during clinker production for cement manufacturing. This is also true. So limestone is calcium carbonate. It is getting converted into lime, calcium oxide, the remaining carbon dioxide component. Out of this clinker manufacturing, this enters atmosphere. The first statement, carbon dioxide emissions from cement industry are maximum. Limestone getting converted to lime is emitting carbon dioxide, contributing to these emissions. So statement 3 will explain statement 1, but statement 2 is also independently true. So answer will be both statement 2 and 3 are correct, but only one of them explains statement 1. Only 3 is explaining statement 1. Answer will be B. Then question 12. So this is factual question, most frequently mentioned in a news, referred in news. So regarding COPs. Statement 1. At 28th UN FCCC, India refrained from signing Declaration on Climate and Health. So this is a declaration brought up in COP 28. India didn't sign this declaration. Statement 2. COP declaration is binding declaration. So generally whatever declarations we are bringing under different global organizations, they won't be binding. So this is also a non-binding declaration. Despite being non-binding, India didn't sign this declaration. Reason is this. If India's health sector is decarbonized, the resilience of this care system may get compromised. So we are trying to decarbonize, our health sector may get compromised. It will take some time for our health sector to decarbonize. So we need technical and financial support from developed world to do this. At present moment, we cannot do that. And this is the reason why India didn't sign this declaration. So statement 3 is explaining statement 1 and statement 2 is not correct. The answer will be only one of the statement 2 and 3 is correct, and that explains statement 1. So answer is C. Then question 14. So regarding Paris Agreement, he is asking about Article 6. So this Article 6 is also frequently mentioned. So he is telling is discussed in global discussions on sustainable development and climate change. So we know Paris Agreement is about sustainable development, climate change. Every article of Paris Agreement deals with the same. Article 6 also deals with the same. First statement is true. 2. Article 6 of the Paris Agreement on climate change sets out the principles of carbon market. So this is fact. This statement is also true. Carbon market. So one country is emitting more than required or prescribed amount of carbon dioxide from that region. Another country is not emitting that huge amounts of carbon dioxide. If it is emitting high, it is emitting less. This can buy the remaining carbon units from this country. So that is called carbon market. And Article 6 of Paris Agreement provides for that. Statement 3. Article 6 of Paris Agreement on climate change intends to promote inter-country non-market strategies to reach climate target. So carbon markets are part of it. Inter-country market strategies are also part of this article. So both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and both of them will explain statement 1. So both are linked to statement 1. So 14a. Then we have question 16 with reference to direct air capture. So directly using some technology, we are capturing air. Within this air, we are mostly trying to capture carbon dioxide. GHG emissions, global warming, climate change is mainly because of carbon dioxide. We are trying to capture carbon. And he is asking which of the following are correct. So first, it can be used as a way of carbon sequestration. So sequestration is absorption of carbon. Through air capture, we are absorbing carbon dioxide. 1 is true. 2. It can be a valuable approach for plastic production and in food processing. So that carbon dioxide which we are capturing can be used for the production of plastic and all these related industries. True. 3. In aviation, it can be a source of carbon for combining with hydrogen to create synthetic low carbon fuel. In aviation, we are trying to build some fuel, low carbon fuel. This carbon dioxide which is captured from air can be used in this production. So that is also true. So select the correct answer. All 3 statements are true. Then question 17 regarding peacock tarantula or Guti tarantula, consider the following statements. First statement, it is omnivorous crustacean. Tarantula is a type of spider and spider belong to a family arachnid. So it is not a crustacean. This fact is also not true. Spiders are generally carnivores, so they are not omnivores. So first statement is not true. And this tarantula, Guti, part of Eastern Ghats of India, mostly specific regions of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, only in these regions we are finding this spider. So its natural habitat in India is only limited to some forest areas, true. So only to Eastern Ghats, some part of India only it is found. In its natural habitats, it arboreal species, this is arboreal species, this is also true. If you take out 1, answer is 2 and 3. So both 2 and 3 statements are correct. So 17D. And question 18, following statements. Carbon dioxide emissions in India are less than 0.5 tons per capita. This fact is not true. India is one of the highest emitters of carbon dioxide in the world. Per capita emission is around 2 tons per capita per year. So less than 0.5, this is not true. So 1 is not correct. Statement 2, in terms of carbon dioxide emissions from fuel combustion, India ranks second in Asia Pacific region. This is also true. After China, India ranks second with respect to emissions. Third, electricity and heat producers are the largest sources of carbon dioxide emissions in India. This is also true. So amongst all sources, electricity and heat producers are the largest producers. So 2 and 3, C. And question 19. So this is relatively factual data. We should know which is herb, which is shrub, which contains wood, which contains green stems. Among these facts, first, second, third are true. So cassava is called woody scrub. So it will have stem, wood stem, hard wood. Ginger is herb with pseudo stem. So pseudo stem, ginger is generally grown inside soil. So the whatever ginger we are finding, that looks like a stem, but that is not actually stem. That is why we are calling it pseudo stem. Malabar spinach, herbaceous climber. So this is also a type of herb, spinach, and it is a climber. It generally grows on some other plants, big plants. These three are true. Mint. So mint is not an annual shrub. It is just a perennial. It is not a perennial shrub. It generally grows in particular seasons. Papaya is a woody scrub. So it is not woody. So papaya is again a type of herb. So it is not woody shrub. That stem of papaya will be relatively green in color, not wood. So with respect to this statement, only 3 are true. So 4th and 5th are not correct. B. Then, so we have question 20. So with reference to planet Earth, consider the following statements. Rainforests produce more oxygen than produced by oceans. This statement is not true. So we can decode using our knowledge. So we know 79% of the globe contains water bodies, only 21% of the globe contains land. On this land, relatively forests are there. Percentage of forest within this land will be relatively less. If there is 79% of the water or oceans on Earth's surface, technically also, logically also, oceans should produce more oxygen, not rainforests. So rainforests produce more oxygen is not correct. Second, oceans is producing oxygen. Within oceans also, mostly phytoplanktons and some bacteria which use sunlight undergo photosynthesis will generate more oxygen. So marine phytoplankton and photosynthetic bacteria produce about 50% of world's oxygen. This is also true. Amongst total percentage of oxygen, around 50 to 70% of the oxygen comes from oceans. Mostly it is through these phytoplanktons and bacteria. True. 3. Well oxygenated surface water contains several folds higher oxygen than in atmospheric air. This fact is not true. We know composition of gases in atmosphere low, we have nitrogen 71%, oxygen 27%. If it is 27-28%, atmosphere is containing oxygen. Generally atmosphere low we find high oxygen, not along surface water. So 3 is not correct, answer will be 2 only. So 1 and 3 are not correct. Then 65, artificial way of causing rainfall. So we know artificial rains concept is cloud seeding, and that seeds which we pump into the atmosphere to form clouds and resultant artificial rain will generally be iodides. So mostly silver iodide is used, to some extent potassium iodide is also used. So answer will be A. Last question, the World Bank warned that India could become one of the first places where wet bulb temperatures routinely exceed 35 degrees centigrade. So wet bulb temperature, normal atmospheric temperature is there. If we are also including water vapor and humidity present in the atmosphere and calculating temperature, it will be called wet bulb temperature. Humidity is also present. Wet bulb temperature exceeding 35 degrees centigrade, it means humidity in atmosphere is very high. And he is asking which of the following statements best reflects the implication of the above said report. The first is telling peninsular India will most likely suffer from flooding, tropical cyclone and drought. Though humidity in atmosphere is very high, humidity in atmosphere is not directly linked to rain and well as formation of cyclones. Intense sunlight, presence of vast water bodies and other factors, other climatic parameters will decide the percentage of flood, cyclones and droughts, not humidity. So not directly linked, though indirectly this may cause all these phenomena, but not directly linked. Most likely is extreme word, it won't happen. 2. The survival of animals including humans will be affected as sweat becomes difficult. We know during humidity regions we are trying to emit back heat through sweating activity, but this humidity is not allowing us to sweat out. So it will create serious health problems. 2 is correct. So only 2 will be the answer, 74B. So this is about environment. So around 10-12 questions came from environment. Mostly questions to some extent 1-2 are too factual, but other than that, mostly paper is moderate to easy. Okay, so this is about environment and geography. Thank you.